Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the fifth-year quarterback, Jameis Winston, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they match up with former MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. He's got Evans. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us to their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that #1 spot.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is White. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Cameron Brate, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed, and this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Newton. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Ian Thomas got pressed into action early his rookie season as all-pro tight end Greg Olsen went down with an injury. Ended up with 36 catches, and they definitely see him as the future once Olsen decides to hang it up and maybe become a broadcaster.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. And here now the offense for Carolina.
And what a workhorse is Christian McCaffrey, the running back for the Carolina Panthers, who led his team in rushing and receiving yardage in 2018 and was also the team's leading scorer. How about this? Set an NFL record for catches for a running back with 107. So for an encore, he just wants to get his team back to the playoffs in 2019.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. There with a tackle, Dietrich Wise Jr. This is what the defense is going to look like for Tampa Bay. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
And he's got his target. That's more.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Mike, Mike's by force. Let's go, baby. Turn it over. Get that ball. Get it.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. The sack by the Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler Jason Pierre-Paul.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Winston got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full play.
Mike Evans, he's going to go. 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. This will be fielded at the 8. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Newton, this one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Newton Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Even at the age of 30, Cam says it's just a number. Still a real threat running the football. We all know about the touchdowns, but ran for 488 yards last season. That was 4th among all NFL quarterbacks. He can still tote the mail.
You better be afraid of me.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Morris Claiborne makes the play defensively.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try the air now with Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Gano the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. And any time a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing?
That's the best way to put it, but you have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball, the guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you've got to cover him with enough people that they throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. From the gun, Winston. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team. And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class. So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. Jameis to throw it. This is White on the screen. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call? I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Now, right now, they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd and 7, Newton, throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Newton to throw. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
On 2nd down now, it's White, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Winston now to throw on first down. A look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Let's go.
Winston now. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Bucs are going to take the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. That'll be taken in the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learn that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat line and felt pretty good about how you played, but if your team didn't win, it almost doesn't matter. And right now he's adopted that attitude. How do I get better? How does my team get better? How do we find a way to win the game?
No, he's hoping to lead his team to a successful drive. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
Throwing again. Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Defense.
Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Mike 51. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you.
On 1st and 10, Newton to the right side, and he's got more complete. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ready? Ready? Mike 54. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Now Newton on 1st down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Here's Newton. And an alley to run. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Mike 51, Mike.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be second and goal.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rashad Perriman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Buccaneers. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Jason Pierre-Paul able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those fourth down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
Levante David, the Bucs' leading tackler, 6 of the last 7 years in there to make the stop.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Newton now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dietrich Wise able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Here's Newton. And incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Here we go on 4th. Newton escaping the pressure. Cam fighting. He lost toss the football. It's out. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bucs defense, they'll celebrate the goal line stand.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bucs defense, they'll celebrate the goal line stand. On a handoff, it's White. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Oh, battle for it here, and this will be caught. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. Here's Winston. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll throw again. Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Play fake. Winston. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure, this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind him, trying to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. After the sack on first down, Newton looking left side. That's caught by Moore. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Barber on 1st and 10. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they'll indeed take a knee. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Winston will kneel down, and that should be your ball game. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was,